The Chicago Bulls are probably the most fraudulent team in the league this year. They are a first round exit to anybody with eyes. And I have to think why, because I look at the Bulls roster compared to the Suns and it's worse, but it's not that much worse. It's not 30 points 2 times in a row worse. That's embarrassing. Getting blown up by 30 is embarrassing. And I really wanted to figure out why the Suns are so much better than the Bulls. So I turned on my genius brain as I do, and I've come to about 3 or 4 conclusions. The first one being the coaching staff. I've talked about this a couple times on Discord, link down below, and with some friends. And I believe Billy Donovan is a trash coach. I'm so sorry. I mean trash if you're trying to win anything. If you want to be decent during the regular season, he's probably your guy. But I think the way that he coaches does not transfer to the playoffs, and he will get cooked by any decent coach in the playoffs. Because look at their roster. I hear about injuries. First off, bitch, every single team's been injured all year, so I don't want to hear it. Not a good excuse. But really, look at the roster compared to most. It's pretty solid. You got Levine, he's clutch. You got Demar Derozan, questionable, but he's solid. Vucevic has been an all-star. Caruso is really solid. He's one of the better defensive players in the league. Lonzo's solid. So it's like, how come they're 6-25 against the top 10 teams in the league? It's your fault. Their defense is 26th out of 30 against those teams. Thank you, Bill Simmons Podcast, for all these stats. You know I'm not looking that up. I don't even know where you would find that. But hey, I appreciate it. I don't have a bat computer or whatever you people use. So they're awful defensively. Whose fault is that? When I watch this team play, I feel like they don't really have a real system. You hear Monty with the 0.5 and you see the defensive schemes that they use. I think DA does help out a lot with that because of his defensive versatility and obviously guys like McHale, but we see Crowder in and out of the lineup, Chris Paul in and out of the lineup, DA in and out of the lineup, and the Suns are still able to win. I think that's because of the culture that Monty has created, and you can tell guys are buying in on the defensive end. I'm just not seeing that with the Bulls. Like, Zach Levine is one of the most athletic dudes in the league. There's no reason he shouldn't be an elite defender. If Andrew Wiggins can do it, why can't Zach? Now I know Zach is a little skinny, but Devin's first in defensive win shares. Now I don't know how much that stat plays, but if you just give Devin the eye test, you can tell on the defensive end, this man is bought in and he is trying. Everybody pretty much on the Suns except for Shamet is a solid defender. Shamet tries, he just doesn't have it. But with the Bulls, I'm just not seeing them buying in. They look lazy. They look like, they're not really trying that hard. And who do I have to blame for that? Billy Donovan. Is it totally his fault? Yes. Because if you're the coach, you're the leader. And if you see somebody that's half-assing it, you know what you do? You blow your whistle and you tell them to sit their ass down. I think that's what a coach's job is. Number 2 is personnel. Now, I think if you just look at the talent on both teams, they're very similar. But here's the thing. It's about fit. It's about need. Zach Levine and DeMar DeRozan kind of do similar things. I mean, I think they score in different ways. DeMar is more of a mid-range guy. Obviously, Zach, he's more of a slasher, a cutter. He can definitely drive in, super athletic, and he's a great three-point shooter. But both of you score, and neither of you are really playing defense. So when you're on the floor at the same time, hey, guess what? There's only one ball, but everybody's got a guard. So, you're not building around Zach's weaknesses if he's your guy by adding a DeMar DeRozan. You probably need somebody. Either Zach's got to step up on the defensive end, because DeMar's been known as somebody who can't play defense his whole career.
Now that's a lot of damage.
And let's talk about Vucevic. What do I always say in the Discord? I don't want a center that shoots threes. I don't want a soft center, okay? Unless it's Jokic. Unless it's somebody that can just ball out and do everything, shoot 40-something% from 3, I don't want it. I want my center, JaVale McGee, getting offensive boards, blocking that shit to the other free throw line. Like, that's what I need my center to do. I don't need him to be throwing dimes. That's what the point guard is for. So when it comes to what they can do on the defensive end, it's limited, because I can only guard you so much, because if you get past me, I'm sending you to somebody that you're gonna dunk on. or who's going to foul you and get an and one, because you can't trust him to guard anybody. And I'm talking about Vucevic. So that's why I'm like, but he was an all-star, sure. But what did his team do? They were a first round exit every single year. And I think that's just what it is. That's just my philosophy with centers. But guess who's never been in the NBA? Yeah, me. So I could be wrong, but I'm not. And again, like, this is why we love guys like DA. We love guys like Mikal, because they're not quote unquote all-stars, but they're all-stars within their roles. Mikal will always do things to help the team win, and he will have game-winning plays. It may not be the game-winning shot, but he'll have the game-winning steal. He'll have the game-winning block, which he had a couple games ago. That's why you need glue guys like that. Guys who can get out of their own way and just help the team win. And the perfect thing about guys like Mikal and Cam Johnson and even DA is because they're so young, they haven't hit their ceiling yet. So they're cool with not being the all-star, but best believe next season they're coming back with another thing. Like, first it was Cam being able to put the ball on the floor this season. You know, now he's running pick and rolls and he's making plays. Mikal with the mid-range game. Who knows what's going to happen next season? So that's why I love this team. They're just going to continue to shock people. They're going to continue to get better and better. And you absolutely need guys like that to win. I think PJ Tucker's another guy like that, but I honestly think Mikal is just a better version of him. I feel like, again, the 3-and-D thing is extremely disrespectful, but be a master in your role for that season, and you can slowly add things as the seasons go on, you know? And I think Mikal will eventually get to that Chris Middleton all-star, run the pick and roll, drop 30, and have 7 assists. He could be that guy. Wow. And the last two things are culture and continuity. You can just look at the Suns and tell from last season, they're way more comfortable playing with each other. Early last season, Chris and Devin had some things to work out. You know, it was Devin's team for so long. And he's been a two-way guard, so he runs the offense a little bit too. And Chris is ball dominant, so he needs to run that shit. And Devin eventually just like, you got it. Late in the game, you got it. I'm going to get my shots. I'm still Devin, but you got it. And once that happened and Chris got in sync with most of the guys on the team, especially DA, this team has pretty much been unstoppable ever since, especially this season. But when I watch the Bulls play, people have the ball in their hands, they're looking around, they don't know what to do. I get it. One, it's your first year and you've added a lot of people, and you still have some new guys like Tristan Thompson who you just added. Another reason why James Jones is like, hey, Torrey Craig, come on back. Like, we're not adding anybody else that will be a factor when it comes to late in the playoffs. Like, maybe Aaron Holiday will get some minutes here and there, but there's a good chance he won't play throughout the playoffs at all. And that was the only new guy that they added this season. We're at the point now where a series could easily be lost by 1 or 2 plays. We saw it with the Bucks, like that Devin turnover and that Chris turnover. Those are 2 games. That you don't have those, you win those 2 games. It's 4-2 instead of the other way around. You know what I mean? So these are the things that I'm thinking about. And when I look at the Bulls, like I said, they just don't have that. They don't have that continuity. And, you know, that takes time, but also get a new coach, but that takes time. And I also think it comes down to culture, too. The Suns have created a winning culture. Even last season, they're like, we're going to win a championship. I know we haven't made the playoffs for 10 years, but we're going to win the championship. And I think that has a lot to do with Monty, and that clearly had a lot to do with Chris. Because wherever Chris Paul goes, the teams have expectations. Russell Westbrook, believe it or not, it is a thing.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And they feel like they really have a chance to win. And you can tell when a team believes that they're going to win. I mean, I would think if I'm a Bulls fan and I just saw my team get their ass beat basically by 30 at home, next time you go against that team, you want to go at them, right? Like, you should have taken that loss personally. It was an embarrassing loss from beginning to end. But when I watched the Bulls play, they were just so nonchalant. Like, there is no reason Cam Payne is getting rebounds over Vucevic. There's no reason that should happen. That just tells me you don't have it. And it's not a talent thing. It's just hard. Like, you should have taken that loss personally. The Suns will lose to a garbage team and play twice as hard the next time because they said the food don't taste the same when they lose. And you can see the Bulls just don't have that. Now, whether that's a personnel thing, I don't know. Personally, I think that's the coach's job. Like, what are you getting paid all this money for? Everybody knows the plays. You're not creating a new offense. You're not creating a new defense. So, like, at least get your players to play hard. If the money ain't going to, you do it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. If I was a Bulls fan, which would be gross, this year's gonna hurt where you're a first round exit, but maybe they'll get rid of the coach and you guys can make some noise next season. But I'm just gonna read through some of these stats for the Suns because they're unacceptable. Torrey Craig still hasn't missed 5 for 5. DA 8 for 11. That's why your center's weak. Devin Booker shot 56% and had 30 points. Like, what are we doing? JaVale McGee 4 for 4. Even Landry Shamet almost shot 50%. This man shot 50% from 3. What are we doing here? Elfrid Payton he was 0 for 4. Come on. That's just what he's gonna do. But you know what I mean? It's like, where is the heart? Did they get out rebounded? Let me look at the rebounding. 49 to 37. This is what I'm talking about. That's the game. That's why I don't like centers like Vucevic. And again, I will say it, Torrey Craig has not missed for 2 games. So, I don't know. The Bulls, fraudulent team that will be a first round exit. So, have fun with that. I like Zach Levine. I like his game. I like a lot of people on this team. I like Zach. I like Alex. That's it, actually. I like Derozan. I don't like his game, but he seems like a cool guy. I really think the Suns just snatched the Bulls' heart out of their chest. You could see they were just getting mad at the refs. They didn't look like they were together. Everybody was looking around. They looked confused. So, ugly loss, and that was kind of an embarrassment. It was one of the most boring basketball games I've ever watched because it was just, okay, we're going to beat your ass in the second quarter. We're up by 15 in the second quarter, and we're just going to go up by like 5 or 10 in each quarter, and the Bulls made no fight at all. It was a true disaster, but hey, it is what it is. Take the L, and I appreciate you for it. So that's all I got for today. I appreciate everybody if you made it to the end. I appreciate all channel members. Yes, I do like you guys a little bit more than everybody else. It is a fact.
I think we're gonna be friends.
Special friends.
And I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.